I always believe that to do family history, you've got to know a little about local history. So, you know, they go hands in hand, if you like, you know, if you're doing your particular family history, and because you come up against barriers. But it's not that, Tony. It's the colourfulness of the history of Liverpool. It's absolutely unique. It's fantastic. I'll just give you a great example, and this is absolutely generous. I was standing outside St George's Hall, and it was a beautiful summer's day. And as I was standing there was a gentleman who must have been about 20 yards away from me. I don't talk about meters because I haven't a clue. You know what I mean? You know, meters. You know, so he's about 20 yards away. And he kept looking over at me. And anyway, he walked over to me. And I thought, what does this fellow want, you know? And he's softly spoken Scottish person, you know. And he said, I'm married to a Liverpool girl, he said. And I've just been watching Liverpool Unnoticed a few weeks ago back home in Scotland, he said. And we're going home. We're waiting for the train now, you know. We're getting the train later on this afternoon. And I'm looking for the Roman villa. Now, you know, there's a fella from Scotland. He's seen Liverpool Unnoticed and he's looking for the Roman villa from the top of William Brown Street. And he was standing about a foot away, you know, from the actual Roman villa, because what was in his way was a train. He was just standing a foot away in, you know, the wrong place. And, you know, went over and showed him. But what he just said, you're Frank. And he said, do you know what, Frank? He said, thank you very much. He said, my wife won't believe this, that I've met, you know, the fella that we've watched in my home, Frank Carlyle. He's actually shown me the Roman villa. And it's great things like that, you know. So if a Scottish man, you know, a gentleman, takes an avid interest in our history, lots of other people do, especially our own citizens. It's a very, very difficult question to answer that, because there's so many, you know, there are so many people who have formed Liverpool. So many, both female and, you know, obviously male. Now the thing is, you know, I could go back to a wonderful man named John Cross, because on the 23rd of December 1565, a hurricane hit Liverpool, and it blew away all, you know, the Tudor buildings, and they just left a couple of stone ones together. You know, the likes of the castle, the likes of the little town hall, and it was little at the time, and the Tower building. Now, you know, they were made from stone. Absolutely amazing, right? So he looked around. You're talking 1565. You're talking Christmas Eve. And there was deaths as well, unfortunately. You know, people were injured. Now, this man, I'm just being subjective, but I think he was the first person, you know, who had the spirit of Liverpool, because he gathered them around Christmas Eve. They had nothing. They had absolutely nothing. The houses were destroyed. And he said, please don't go away. Let's build Liverpool. Let's build them. And let's build it from stone. And from that moment on, that spirit of Liverpool became part of our heritage, because we stayed and those people stayed and they built everything from stone. So therefore Liverpool in 1566 became the very first stone township. So, you know, we could say the likes of John Cross, what a fella, you know. And he was Lord Mayor at the time, you know, he was the mayor at the time. So, but you can go on about Kitty Wilkinson, you know, what a wonderful person, you know, absolutely amazing person. She went into the depths of diseased places and cared for people, you know. She took in waifs and strays. She did the washing, you know, for people, because Liverpool, you know, the first time she was ever doing it was in the 1830s. Liverpool was suffering from terrible cholera, and what had happened, she said, well, all the germs are in the clothing and even in the bedclothes, you know. So she used lime, you know, diluted, obviously, but it killed the germs. So she had this wonderful passion for the people of Liverpool, not just the not just the wealthy who lived in the leafy suburbs, because she did charge them, because the charge she made to them, she did the poorer classes for free, you know, because she seen that suffering. What a wonderful person she was, Agnes Jones. You know, Agnes Jones came here in 1860 and, you know, set up like a nursing profession. In fact, the nursing system is still going today that she formed, Agnes Jones, and she went into she looked after these terrible diseased people, Tony, and it took a toll on her. And unfortunately, she died, you know, with these people who she was looking after. Then, you know, you could go on to the likes of military, and there was this wonderful, compassionate man who went out, you know, he joined the Liverpool Scottish. He was a wonderful surgeon, you know, at the Royal Southern Hospital, and he was the first to enlist, and he went over. He wanted to look after his men. He wanted to, you know, save their lives. And he was the only man to win a double VC during the 1914-18 conflict. Well, in any war, to be honest. And, you know, his second Victoria Cross was awarded posthumously because he was killed looking after his men. It's as simple as that. And his name was Noel Shavas. Now, you know, so I really couldn't say, you know, who would like to be, whether it's male or female. It's just that it is a fantastic question. It really is. You know, even like the people today, the likes of Ken Dodd. You know, I love Ken Dodd simply because he's a compassionate man. He loves Liverpool. Would I like to be him? Yeah. You know, love to be him. Would I like to be the likes of, say, Daniel Craig, James Bond? Would I make a good James Bond? I don't know about that, but, you know, would I like to be him? So it's you know, the past, the present, and even in the future, you know, because you're going to get people from Liverpool who are going to excel, you know, well, when we're well and truly gone, because our kids and grandkids, they'll see these people who are going to excel, and they'll be talking about the likes of Daniel Craig, the likes of the wonderful Ken Dodd, going right back to John Cross, Noel Shavas, Kitty Wilkinson, and the wonderful lady Agnes Jones.